Anytime I tell Michelle, she gets like just completely frustrated. Like, what's different? Has anything changed? Call me when something's changed. Like, yeah, I get it, but pandemic. Like, it's all fun and games until there's a pandemic.
Yeah. Are we live yet?
Yeah, we are actually.
Oh, okay. Good morning, everybody. Funny there it is. Okay. Sometimes the video doesn't pop up on our screen when we go live automatically, and I have to run around and do that. Good morning, welcome, and thank you for joining us. We appreciate you saying good morning to us when you join us, because we don't know if you're here.
Yeah. Otherwise, we'll
say
be
hi in the comments.
Oblivious. Who needs that?
Also, raise your hand if you're not here.
That would be a trick. Definitely do that because I would like to see how that is done. So I'm going to start the show. I haven't done this in a while because I value our collective mental health, but I'm going to read a Trump tweet.
Why would you do that?
Because it's important, unfortunately.
Yeah. And Corey,
hiring a lying piece of garbage as president can have real ramifications. And we all know this already, but this is dark shit. So the coronavirus, you got the name right, which started in China, accurate, and spread to various countries throughout the world. It's actually a lot of countries on every single continent, so he's downplaying that. I'm not giving him points for that. But very slowly in the U.S. The only reason why it looks as if it's growing slowly in the U.S. is because they're not fucking testing anyone, right? It is very likely rampant in the United States, and the president of the United States is downplaying that. Also said there was only 15 cases, and of course there's at least 60 and probably a lot more.
There's 28 in California alone.
Yep, because President Trump talks about himself in the third person, proving he's a fucking nutter. Literally, no human on earth who talks about themselves in the third person isn't fucking crazy. I'm just going to put that out there. That's not a thing. Closed our border. Greg, did Trump close our borders?
No, he did not.
And ended flights. Greg, did Trump...
to China. He ended flights to China.
And any flights?
I actually don't know.
I don't think he did. And what we know, because there's a video of it all over Twitter yesterday, is that there's flights from hotspots all over the world coming into Heathrow every hour, and no one's checking or asking about anything.
Yeah, but Corey, they're not from brown countries.
Okay. I don't even think he's canceling flights from China, though.
Oh, I thought that was what he did. I thought
he
had.
Okay, and I'm open to information on that, but like ended flights, like, oh, there was a flight actually coming from fucking Wuhan. Yeah, I canceled that. Good job, asshole. He's not canceling flights from Japan, where they closed all the schools yesterday. Is now being blamed by the do-nothing Democrats. Of course, we know there's hundreds of things being done by the Democrats all the time, and he's a fucking liar about that, to be the fault of Trump. And it is. So, sorry about that.
So which is it? Is it the do-nothing Democrats or Democrats causing panic? It's like the Heisenberg immigrant, the one who's simultaneously lazy and on welfare and taking your job. So our friend Jordan Witt had a post up there. I believe this is actually from a Chris Hayes post, but I'm going to read it because I think it's an important thing to understand about what has happened so far. I posted in all caps yesterday. Sure glad we didn't do anything to discourage whistleblowers in this country.
Yeah.
So from our friend Jordan Witt, here's this. A pair of stories broke late Thursday afternoon concerning a Health and Human Services whistleblower with a fatal series of charges that, if true, mean the coronavirus outbreak in the United States was caused by the ineptitude of the Trump administration. First reported on as an exclusive by the Washington Post and quickly followed up on by the New York Times, both stories note that an HHS whistleblower filed an official complaint with the Office of Special Counsel after alleging that she was retaliated against for voicing concerns. The whistleblower, who is seeking protection, is reportedly an award-winning expert in her field with decades of relevant experience with impeccable performance ratings. The complaints made by the whistleblower expert are: 1, U.S. workers were sent to the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak without proper training or protective gear. 2, those same employees were not tested for the coronavirus. 3, many of those employees returned to the U.S. on a commercial flight. 4, after raising concerns about the wisdom of 1 through 3, she was allegedly reassigned and faced termination for speaking up through the chain of command.
Yeah.
And where those employees of HHS came home was right in the zone where the the case in California came to our attention that wasn't connected to anybody who had traveled in or out of a hot zone. So,
Yeah,
what
isn't
the
that?
fuck?
I think Rachel was talking about last night. That's close to where they sent in a bunch of people to deal with people that had actually come back. What's interesting too, from what she said, was I can't remember. It's like child services or something. Family and child services is who they sent in, completely and totally untrained. Those are the same people.
You keep freezing up,
right? Like that. Those are people. Apparently, the people that Trump owns enough that he could send them into that, and they all flew home. You know, they created the vector.
Yep,
and that's the thing. Like, and
Health and Human Services.
I don't think it was Health and Human Services.
Okay,
it was some weird.
I missed something then.
Yeah, it was some weird other thing. I'll find it, but yeah, and to be fair, Letterkenny. There may have been no containing this anyway, right? Like with the spread rate that it has, and the incubation rate, you know, like the people not showing symptoms for a couple of weeks. I mean, you'd have to grind the whole world to a stop to contain it. Which I think over the next 2 to 4 weeks we're going to see them attempt to do that,
right?
Which I don't think is going to work.
Yeah, your feed keeps freezing.
On Angry White House staffer,
Corey
said Mick Mulvaney at CPAC. What's that?
Your feed keeps freezing up. I'm missing like 10 seconds at a time here. So
sorry, man. Yeah, I looked as if my internet was weird. I can check my.
Let me shut off some other stuff you might have running.
I've been doing exactly that.
Okay. They say it's on a Van Meter. They say we're overreacting. Like history doesn't show us how these things are spread. Good point. Ginny, we had this thought late yesterday afternoon. The potential for them canceling elections because of the coronavirus. You know, they need a reason. Well, here's a good one: large groups of people in public gatherings.
Yeah, I mean,
so
it. You know,
I'll tell you what, if I get diagnosed, I'm going to a Trump rally.
Greg, stop. I'm dead serious. Like the gallows humor thing, I saw somebody say that. That's just not fucking funny. And here's why. Trump supporters have kids.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Trump supporters have grandparents that could be fucking awesome. You don't know.
All right.
Yay. I'm going to go make my coffee.
Oh, well, okay. I have nothing to talk about while you're gone, but all right. So he's going to get some coffee. Dave is asking no sciencey nerdy stuff. You know what? I did absolutely zero show prep before I arrived at the microphone this morning. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Let's see. Boxer Cat, good husband has multiple masks. Yeah. Although I mean, the information we're getting is, maybe masks aren't helpful. I don't know. I was told yesterday, maybe I should shave my beard. We're not prepared for this, and appointing Mike Pence as the leader of the effort accomplishes one thing. It throws Pence under the bus if this all goes pear-shaped and people die. So there we go. Boxer Cat, Jareen, you're right. My husband is demanding double screens to work from home. I will still be handling money. Jareen said, when I was in Walmart yesterday and thought these people picking grocery orders are the people that can't afford to stay home and will be most impacted. See Scott sentence thread about presenteeism. Sorry, that's a word I don't have to say every day, so I kind of bungled it. Yeah, poor folks that have to go to work, that can't stay home, can't take a sick day, don't have health insurance. We're going to be the prime vectors for this. So that's not exciting. That's not exciting. I told the hubby his beard is not CDC approved. I'm not sure. I was thinking about shaving it anyway. Now it's going to look like if I shave my beard, it's because of the coronavirus. So I'll probably just shave my beard and have to explain all that later. Excuse me.
Republicans are already calling it a hoax.
Oh, it's a hoax. Oh, that's good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, there are some reassuring things happening, right? For instance, there's this. Yeah, that's reassuring. That's the guy that's now in charge of our coronavirus.
Oh God.
Yeah, so much for black humor. I thought gallows humor was off limits.
No, gallows humor where you're talking about murdering hundreds or thousands of people. Maybe yes.
Yeah. So since the you know what the test cost for coronavirus?
Was it 3,000?
Yeah, it's a little over $3,000.
Yeah.
So that's good. We were also just talking about Scott Santon's thread yesterday on Twitter about presenteeism. The people who cannot afford to take a sick day, the people who do not have health insurance, the people who have to work to support their families are still going to go to work in grocery stores and restaurants and other places where currency is exchanged across the counter. Yeah. So that doesn't bode well. Now, I don't know. Are we being panicky?
I keep acting like I'm being panicky. And like, you didn't know what the death rate was for the flu.
Right.
Right. So like, I get that like everybody's used to non-black swan events. Right. Like that's just what we're used to, things that are very linear. That's why honestly people are sleeping on automation, because it's not linear, it's exponential. Right. And no matter how much you scream about it, like the hyper intelligent monkey, unless specifically educated to see an exponential curve, will see a linear curve and have a bias towards it. Right. So it's all there's that normalcy bias or whatever. What I really want people to do is start giving me evidence that I'm wrong. That's it. Oh, just calm down. This is totally normal. Cool. What's your evidence that it's normal? Did Saudi Arabia fucking close down people coming to Mecca from out of country for the first time ever? Did that not happen? No, that happened, right? Did
Japan closed all of its public schools, all of its schools?
They like and right. Yeah. There's 50 of those. So like, what the fuck? Yeah, Boxer just said Jay's right-wing coworkers absolutely all believe it's a hoax.
Crazy.
And this is the thing, right? Like, we've been screaming for freaking 4 years about the fact that this is actually what society looks like when it breaks down. And what happens when it gets tested? Well, now we're going to find out. And I mean, honestly, if you have grandparents, think about that, because they're going to go first. And now I feel like a total hysterical fucking lunatic. So that's fun. Sorry, guys. I also didn't sleep very well last night. Just want to throw that caveat out there.
Yeah, this will likely be a fairly short show. Corey's not feeling well, and we're going to send him back to bed here before too much longer.
I was suggesting maybe we should talk for longer, but apparently I'm far too ranty this morning. No one should have to be.
Oh, let's focus on the good news. How's the Dow doing? Holy shit!
How is it doing? I saw it was down 4.
It's down 958.
400.
958.
Okay, let's maybe only 950. Oh, fuck it's me right in the face. Somebody was saying today, oh man, looks like stocks are going to be good pretty soon. I'm like, oh, you poor dummy.
So
wow, look at that.
What are you watching the drop?
Just here. I mean, I'll just show you. Like, we're now where it was. Actually, we're exactly where it was in May of 2019. Literally identical, and it's sitting on that support.
So what is a support? Explain that just a little bit. What does support mean?
So when a stock, like if you're just looking at a stock graph, right? Like, or look at if you want to pull the Dow up or whatever. Anytime there is a decline and then a reversal, that reversal, like very bottom of it, is where buying happened to turn that around, right? So we know that there was lots of people that thought, man, this price is really, really good. I want to get back in.
Okay.
So that creates an echo, not a perfect echo, but it creates an echo in the market, because basically everyone else thinks, well, there was a lot of buyers there, so maybe I should be a buyer here as well. And there might be fundamental reasons or whatever as well, right? So every time you see a little V like that, take a look at that, because if it goes underneath that, you're going probably to the next one, right? So if we drop, and I don't think there's any, I mean, there's no reason to think that it won't drop below this. I'll tell you guys why in a couple of seconds. The next possible support is 22,400. Okay. And that looks like a pretty good support area. There was a lot of buyers there, but it was actually also after a crash, which kind of makes it a little bit weaker. But anyway, so like that is like a little flash crash or whatever, right?
Right. So are we in the mortgage crisis?
2018, 2019.
Are we in the mortgage crisis range?
100%.
Severity-wise?
I'm wondering if we're in the .com crisis era or worse.
Yeah.
Right. Because like if this market wasn't inflated, like that I keep ranting about, it would still be going down. Right. Like we haven't even begun to see how much knock-on effects this will have for supply chains, for people not being able to go to work because their kids can't go to school, and right. That hasn't even started to actually percolate into the market yet. So if it drops below 22,000, it's going to 16,000.
Wow.
Yeah. There's nothing. There's no discernible heavy support until the very beginning of the Trump administration.
Yeah. Donna says her nephew works in prison and brings all kinds of flu and bugs home with him. Already one infected prisoner can wipe out a whole community. I have concerns about that. I work in the counseling field, and I'm in a small room with a bunch of guys who have been in and out of jails. Like I start thinking about, what's funny is I haven't really thought much about me personally getting sick. I'm much more concerned about, the infrastructural things and the big picture things.
Right.
That's the weird part of this is I'm not, panicky about me getting coronavirus, although with a compromised immune system and heart problems and, all other stuff, maybe I should be. But I'm much more worried about the big picture stuff, like, how this affects kids' ability to go to school. Parents who have kids in school, if the school closes, they can't go to work, right? So we lose productivity there. Like you said, supply chain for things that have to be imported to be assembled or built. Food that comes from foreign countries, all of that is likely to be affected to some extent here. So that's a little frightening. Dave says if it drops below 22, then real panic will set in and it'll get a lot worse, selling, etc. Well, we're almost there.
And that's the thing. Like
we're at 24/7, 24/8 now. So, a couple more days like this, we'll be in that range.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to like, I keep looking at it from a market perspective. Would if you had a $1 billion fund, would you buy right now? Right. Of course you wouldn't. That's crazy. Now, at some point,
weird was looking at, like yesterday, I was looking just at a few things. I was looking at who was dropping. Right. And it's things like the things that were dropping yesterday surprised me. There were pharmaceutical companies that were dropping. Pfizer was down. Walgreens, big pharmacy company, big retail pharmacy company, down. Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble. Like, I would have thought those stocks might have had a bit of a bump because, cynically,
who did well? Zoom, Peloton, stay-at-home bikes.
Oh, really?
Yep. Stuff like that.
Interesting.
Top losers yesterday, American Express.
Wow. Yeah. That we keep
one got hammered.
We keep losing you for.
Yeah. I keep. Is it cool if we start over?
I'm okay with that.
All right, cool. All right. I'll be back in a second.
So yeah, we should tell people that's what we're gonna do.
That's a good idea. We're gonna start over
the feed in a minute here. We'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm gonna reboot my computer. I think something's weird on here.
Hey Corey, what's your wait? If you leave, does it stay up?
The Zoom won't. No.
Oh, okay, so we gotta restart then.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, we'll see you guys in a bit.
Bye.
Bye.